You might have watched the Channel 4 documentary that was on the TV last night about me. It was a documentary with the debate between me and Gary Economics. I've not watched it yet, so I'm about to watch it right now and I'm going to be responding to it. I think though, from what I can see, it was Gary Stevenson, Gary Economics, being paid by Channel 4 to promote the wealth tax. And he came down to one of my hotels and I had a 6-hour debate with him. So I'm looking forward to watching the edit and seeing how this came out on Channel 4. This is going to be me reacting live to Channel 4's documentary, which I featured in. Let's go.
Samuel Leeds is a self-styled property expert with over 500,000 YouTube subscribers.
This is a tour of my £40 million mansion in the Palm, Dubai. I've just added another one onto my second, third, fourth, fifth home collection.
I first became aware of him when he interviewed controversial influencer Andrew Tate, and I became part of the conversation.
Oh, come on, mate. You were mentioned like 30 seconds of our 2-hour debate. You didn't really become part of the conversation. Andrew Tate didn't even remember your name or know who you were, but anyway.
Know any better? I saw some guy, I don't know his name.
I saw some guy, I don't know his name. And you're saying that I became part of the conversation. Yeah.
He was on Twitter, skinny little dipshit, begging for the government to tax us more.
I was going to talk to you about him. Are you on about? It's funny that Andrew Tate says a skinny little dip, beep, begging, sucking off the tax man to charge us more. And on that description, I was like, oh, you mean Gary Stevenson? I know who that is. What a pretty good description and summary of Gary from Andrew Tate there. Are you on about Gary Economics?
Must be him.
He said it must be him, yeah. He didn't even know who you are. He just saw you and was like, what an absolute moron. Anyway, I don't remember this part of the debate or the conversation with me and Andrew Tate, to be honest, about. Anyway, let's see. Is he like got skinhead?
Yeah. Skinny
Gary Stevenson.
Every revolution in history began with the assassination of the tax man, not sucking the tax man off.
Andrew Tate really has a way with words. He's hilarious. I like him. I think he's fantastic. I've met him in person. I always like to withhold judgment until I've met somebody. And when Andrew Tate was talking about how bad Gary was and saying like he's awful or skinny little this, I was careful not to diss or insult Gary too much because I've never met him. Now I've actually met Gary and I'm watching this edited Channel 4 documentary, I think I'll have the right to be able to speak freely about Andrew Tate and Gary Economics because I've spent a considerable amount of time with both of them.
I'm meeting Samuel Leeds at a hotel he recently acquired, in addition to his growing property portfolio. Hi.
Good to meet you.
Be Samuel Leeds.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for coming down.
That's all right. No worries.
So we can sit in here maybe. This is a decent room there.
Tell us a little about Samuel Leeds. What was your childhood like? What was it like growing up?
See, I don't get this. Like, who cares? You know, what was your childhood like? Why did this even make the cut? It should just be, let's talk about wealth tax. What's your childhood growing up? Anyway, maybe people do care. Channel 4 clearly think people care about my childhood growing up. Even I don't really care about that, but anyway. Failed in school, got ADHD, dyslexia, thought I was stupid, flunked out of school age 16, cleaned snooker tables, and then got into property.
What did money mean to you when you...
I guess it was a fair question to ask because, you know, they've shown me really wealthy, all these houses, you know, fine. And then they, you know, gave me an opportunity to say, actually, I didn't come from this. It's fair editing.
When you were a child?
I think for me, I just wanted to be able to make enough money that I could just move out. And the intention was never to own hundreds of properties, like millions.
Would you say you're addicted to making money?
I think that was an interesting question from Gary. Would you say you're addicted to making money? That's an interesting question, and I'm sure I answer it well. Let's find out what I said. I think I'm addicted to growth. I'm addicted to building businesses. I'm addicted to seeing projects completed. I'm addicted to the game. I like winning. I'm addicted to winning. It's a passion. It's a mission. That it has to be.
Sometimes I worry with people like yourself when they speak as if anybody can get rich if you just try. It has a really bad effect on the mental health of young people, especially young men, because In a world where it's so hard to make money, they're being told it's easy to make money if you just try. And the consequence of that logically is if you are poor, if you are not making money, that's your fault.
Yeah, it's a very nuanced conversation, because I could equally argue that people become most depressed when they're not in control. Whereas when you actually give people control and say, look, it's not going to be easy, it is tough, but you can do something about this. Not get rich, but make an extra £500 a month. I don't think that does cause people mental health issues. Certainly the way I am as a human being would rather focus on my life, my economy, my family. Yeah, right, facts. Fair question, fair answer. I mean, no talk of the wealth tax or anything yet though, which is interesting. Because these were just like throwaway comments that he asked me like while we were having a coffee. Whereas when the cameras were like, right, it was all about us arguing about the wealth tax. And I destroyed him. So I'm waiting to see that, really, because this is quite boring. I mean, are you bored? I'm bored.
As well as his property business, Samuel Leeds sells courses and mentorship programs claiming to teach how to get rich in property.
I charge £12,000 to be part of my academy where you get one-on-one mentoring. And everyone says, no one's going to pay that much, that's ridiculous. Well, these guys have. I mean, right now there's 1,000 people in this room. So when people say no one's going to pay that, they are. You're just missing out.
His free online webinar promotes his introductory course. He urges viewers to sign up for a limited number of places.
I also want to say, if you've got people that are negative in your family, do you know what? Don't even tell them. Just come down, spend 2 days getting mentored, work through the programs, use the contracts that you've got, and let them see the money.
I wanted to put to him my concerns about his selling techniques.
I watched your webinar.
Interesting, isn't it, that they want to talk about the concerns of my education consultancy business, and they've clearly gone through and watched like all of my content. Literally, Gary, he did tell me when he went on that he's even signed up for my courses to see what they're like and see what they're about. And then I gave them permission as well. They asked me, they said, do we have permission to use anything we have of you online? And I said, that's absolutely fine. But it's interesting that they're trying to create a narrative, but the worst of me that they have was me saying that. I mean, if they had something really sinister or dark of me, they would have definitely played it at that point, because I think that's the narrative they were going for. It's in like, oh, he sells really expensive courses, and is it really expensive? I mean, considering it's not a course, it's a, I mean, I was there in a room with people, it's a community, but anyway, let's see what he has to say.
Your webinar, and you did this thing on that where you gave some interesting information about property. And then you did this.
Did he say you gave good info? What did he just say there? Let me rewind that. Did he say you gave good information about property?
On that, where you gave some interesting information about property.
Oh, interesting information. Okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah, because isn't that how you got rich as well, Gary? Did you not invest in property? What do you mean interesting? It was fantastic. It was absolutely mind-blowingly supreme. But anyway, go on.
And then you did this thing where you said, this still won't be there. If you ask me tomorrow, it'll be gone. If you don't have the money, you should borrow it from someone in your family. And you said, if you have people in your family who are negative about this, just don't tell them. And I've got to be honest with you, that sounded an incredibly irresponsible message to send.
Well, for a start, all of those people that enroll are going to end up over the moon and super happy.
All of them?
Yeah, they will, yeah.
You never have anyone who's unhappy?
If anyone is unhappy, which is extremely rare, but if they have a change of circumstances, if they don't, we refund them.
Why'd you sell it so hard, Sam? Why'd you tell people?
Because I believe, because I'm passionate about what I do.
I felt concerned that people will end up on a course where they get pressured to buy a £12,000 course. There are reviews online of people saying they get pressured, right? Listen, and there are a lot of people online who say that they have been pressured to pay £12,000 for a course. People who don't have £12,000 have borrowed. They said they've been pressured to take personal loans.
I think the thing is, Gary...
Do you ever encourage people to take loans to buy your courses?
I'm very passionate about my product, but my customers are very happy. So my programs are helping people make more money. 86% of them are doing deals. 97% of them say they'd recommend to a friend. Independent stats.
What was that? Like, just for context as well, That was just as he was losing all the debates on what he actually came to debate. So I wanted to talk about wealth tax. We spent 6 hours and I was demolishing his points. And then he went, all right, no, I understand what you're saying. Do you pressure sell people though? Because I went on your webinar and you were being really aggressive with your sale and you charge people and what happens if they're not happy? And I'm like, okay, at the time it felt really random. It was like, you know when you're trying to debate someone on something factual and then they just totally sidestep and then suddenly try and gaslight you on something. That's kind of what it was like. And I was just like, Gary, my customers are really happy. I mean, what? What are you talking about? My customers, like, I have all, you know what I mean? Like, the thing is, I've been in this game long enough. I've been running property business for 18 years. I've been in the education space and consultancy for 10 years. So I've literally had BBC coming for me, like, this is half a decade ago now, or even more. 6 years ago, BBC came for me. And I've had every which way people have tried to investigate me, look at me, but I've had independent audits. My customers are really happy. I'm the real deal. So when he came out of that, it was a bit like, all right, cool. But I'm really curious. Are we actually going to talk about wealth tax? Is that going to come up? Because I destroyed him really bad. Let's see.
I'll do a quick story. With Gary, I'm really glad that he's registered for my course now. You did it yesterday?
I haven't registered for any of your courses.
You said you did it yesterday, right?
Watch out for this guy.
Successful. Gary Economics.
Thank you.
Oh, they cut that so bad. They cut that so bad. But listen, it's okay. I mean, yeah, basically, Gary invests in property. Gary did my webinar. And as he started going there for my training and saying, like, I went on your training actually, and you pressure yourself. I was asking him, and I pulled my camera at one point because I thought, I know they're going to cut this. But I was asking him, what did you think of my training? You went on it. You're a property investor. You're successful in property, right? You've got a lot of property. And he was just hating it and left. But they cut out every single bit about the wealth tax. That's crazy. I mean, listen, I understand that this is how TV works. You know, they chop it, they film for 6 hours, and then they put in 6 minutes. But it's a little bit disappointing because we had a 6-hour debate about the wealth tax, which is why we met up. That was he said, can I come to your hotel and talk to you about the wealth tax? And can we have a debate? I said, yes. Also, interestingly, when he was talking about, I think, is that everything now?
Cheerio. Drive safe.
It just the eerie music. That's it. That's my part. Interestingly as well, when he was talking about my students and he was saying like, oh, you know, you pressure sell people and you make out everyone can do it, but they really got and all that. I said to him, bro, I said, I got a bunch of people with it. I could call on people within 3 minutes they'd be in this room right now who are completely financially free, who started from nothing. And he was like, okay, let's speak with them. And there was a bunch of people. And Channel 4 did say this to me. They did say, like, oh, bring some of your friends and bring some young people. They said, I want you to bring a bunch of young people that are on your academy. I was like, all right, fine. So I invited a bunch of young people. I said, oh, I thought I'm here, I'm filming. I said, will they actually be on TV? Yeah, we're going to film them for the show. All right, fine. So I invited a bunch of my young students. You know, like a 20-year-old lady called Rosie who's got a hotel. She secured it with none of her own money. We had Ricky, a guy called Ricky from Birmingham, who's making thousands and thousands of pounds a month. Started as a teenager, came on my academy. Loads of people. And a guy called John, who got hit over the head, got brain damage, and literally didn't have any money, and now he owns 10 houses and he's completely financially free. These people, these young people that are really wealthy, successful, started from nothing. And I was like, yeah, I can get them in the room in like 3 minutes, you know? And he's like, okay, yeah, let's talk with them. So I brought them in. And then they started owning Gary. They're like, Gary, if we listened to your message, we wouldn't have started. We'd have just been hopeless. But Samuel gave us hope, but then actually wrote the check, financed our deals, trained us, and now we're really successful. And they were all saying this, and Gary was just like speechless, like, oh, I didn't have anything to say. And I was like, oh, this is going to be brilliant TV, but it didn't make the cut. It didn't make the cut. Interesting. Why didn't it make the cut? Why do you think that they didn't include all the young people? I think what they wanted to do is they said to me, bring a load of young people that are like, you know, teenagers, early 20s, to meet Gary. And I think that they thought that these young people might be triers. I've just quit my job and I've done one deal, I've got one rent to rent. And then Gary would be like, oh, one rent to rent, and how much is he making? Well, it broke even last month, but next, and then I think Gary would have then ripped into them, and that would have made brilliant TV. But because they were all my students, so they were really successful, Gary just was just like stumped, didn't have anything to say, and then it was just like, doesn't fit the narrative, cut. Yeah, really interesting. There were other people as well that were interviewed. Nomad Capitalist, Dan Needle. Dan Needle's smart. I mean, I didn't used to like Dan Needle because he used to always attack me online. However, I've changed my mind on Dan Needle. And to be fair on Dan, when he's attacked me in the past, he's probably been right. You know what I mean? He's probably been right. And when people attack you, it's actually a good thing because it forces you to think and do better and step up your game. But people like Gary, he's not even attacking me. He's just asking questions. And then I'm killing him in a debate and then it's just being cut. Seems really strange. Anyway, what do you think? Go watch the full show and tell me what you think. And if you want to, you know what I'm going to do as well? I'm going to have to do this. I prepared so hard for this debate with Gary. I destroyed him so bad on every point. I knew it was going to get edited down, but I didn't realize that every single second of the debate that we actually had was going to be cut out. But anyway, I'm going to do a full breakdown. And I'm going to break down actually what happened. I've still got my notes. And I got a whole bunch of people that were there with me on the day that heard. I couldn't film it. Channel 4 wouldn't let me film on my own camera. That's a lesson. I'm not going to let that happen again. Next time TV say they want to do something with me, I'm going to bring my own camera. And I'm just going to have it, not to try and do anything funny, but it's just annoying, isn't it? So I'm going to do a full breakdown of what actually happened in that conversation with me and Gary. I'm going to break down the full discussion, the points that were made, and I'm going to try and keep it as factual and as neutral as possible because I do think this is an important issue of taxes, wealth taxes, what he's talking about, personal responsibility, even what he's saying about my courses, how I give people hope, but is that false hope? Or is a wealth tax false hope? I'll break it down. So if you want to see that video, subscribe to the channel. I will try and make it today. I say we'll go to edit. I'm going to keep it really unedited. I will post that video tonight. Like this video, subscribe, and let me know if you want to see the full debate and what happened. And I'm gonna try and post that video tonight. Right, time to get filming. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.